World's largest photovoltaic company plans layoffs, over 24,000 people facing unemployment. Beijing Diehards pull out, Ka-shing also sells off. What did they see? China's economic downturn leads to loss of 28 million credit cards in 1 year. Chinese pork industry grapples with financial turmoil. Worsening epidemic in China, sudden deaths among police and doctors. It's all covered in today's China Truths. World's largest photovoltaic company plans layoffs, over 24,000 people facing unemployment. Bloomberg News on the 18th announced that due to a glut in production and cutthroat competition, LONGi Green Energy, the globe's leading solar company, is gearing up to slash nearly a third of its workforce to slash costs. Last year, the company boasted around 80,000 employees, but now, over 24,000 of them are staring down the barrel of unemployment. Globally, China's solar sector stands at the forefront. Prices for solar panels plummeted to all-time lows last year, pushing manufacturers to sell at or below cost. As the top dog in solar silicon wafer manufacturing, LONGi Green Energy was also forced to drop its prices substantially last year. The company's stock took a nosedive, dropping about 70% from its 2021 peak, wiping out over 200 billion yuan, about $27.8 billion of its market value in 2023 alone. Now, they're wrestling with issues like overproduction, industry consolidation, and the looming threat of bankruptcy. Inside sources say LONGi Green Energy has axed free afternoon tea, pared down travel expenses, and switched to black and white printing only, all in the name of cost-cutting. Their Shanghai office has even stopped offering free coffee. The company is concerned that the growing joblessness among its workforce might stir up social unrest, prompting them to disable the feature that showed the total employee count at year's end. Shanghai solar analyst Mao Tingting last April mentioned that a price war in the solar industry was bound to happen with its explosive growth. Huge investments in factory builds and ramping up production have created a significant surplus in the market. Facing LONGi Green Energy's massive layoffs, Sound of Hope got in touch with Professor Wu Huilin, a guest researcher at Taiwan's Tsinghua Institution for Economic Research. He pointed out that China's economy is in a freefall, and it's pretty dire. The reason? They can't let go of the Communist Party's iron grip, insisting on party-led everything. This stance is kryptonite to economic growth, reminiscent of the Mao Zedong era of shutting out the world. In a truly free economy, businesses can't thrive under such conditions. They either go under or have to relocate. Professor Wu advises China to pivot towards fostering a free economy, using honesty to bolster market confidence. By showing real respect for people and the market, allowing for free enterprise, moral standards and trustworthiness can rise. Only then, by pursuing development, might there be a light at the end of the tunnel. Otherwise, the situation is downright bleak. Beijing Diehards pull out, Ka-shing also sells off. What did they see? Investment is increasingly looking to exit China. There's a saying going around that if you don't have the guts to leave China today, you might as well kiss the whole world goodbye tomorrow. It paints a pretty grim picture for China's economic future. Mr. Ka-shing, an independent commentator, shared on social media about a buddy of his from Denmark working at Siemens, a German multinational technology conglomerate, who recently took a trip to Shanghai. The goal? To offload Siemens' Lingang branch to a Chinese state-owned company, setting the stage for Siemens to completely pull out of China. This move is dragging along a whole network of suppliers, 8 foreign businesses in total, since Siemens sticks to a strict rule against swapping in parts from local Chinese suppliers. So, with Siemens packing up, it's not just them leaving but an entire chain of international businesses. Kai's friend pointed out that Siemens has been deep in the game in China for nearly 4 decades, really cozy with the Chinese powers that be, virtually having a monopoly on Chinese government contracts before passing them off to other German firms. For such a long-standing European partner of Beijing to cut ties with China, a few reasons stand out: the Shanghai lockdown in 2022 and the shifting sands of global politics after the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the Israel-Hamas skirmish. Communication with Chinese government officials has turned into a dead end. Plus, there's that looming threat: if you don't bolt from China now, you're risking everything. That's got Siemens dead set on making a swift exit, consequences be damned. The way Mr. Kai sees it, the situation is that Siemens used to ship its products straight from Yangshan port. Back in the day, the road to the port was jam-packed with trucks, and the docks were stacked sky-high with containers as far as you could see. Now, you won't find a single truck on those roads, the container yard is completely empty, and Yangshan port looks like a ghost town with zero activity. Plus, Mr. Kai's buddy, on his way from Copenhagen, Denmark, to Shanghai with a layover in the Netherlands, saw that the flights from the Netherlands were filled to the brim with Chinese folks. These passengers were flying in from Canada, the US, and other parts of Europe, forced to connect through the Netherlands because a lot of countries are steering clear of direct flights to China. It seems company heads are avoiding any dealings with Beijing. Last week, the buzz was all about billionaire Ka-shing cashing out of his Shanghai property, Kaohsiung, catching everyone's eye. Nestled in Putuo, one of Shanghai's 4 sub-districts, Kaohsiung sits just a short 400-meter stroll from the subway, with a bustling commercial street right below. Its launch 5 years back was a hit, boasting a whopping 106% subscription rate. On March 14th of this year, Kaohsiung rolled out 73 new homes, with offerings from 83 square meter 2-bedrooms to 160 square meter 4-bedrooms, priced just like 5 years ago at about 90,000 yuan, about $12,504 per square meter, even undercutting the nearby resale market. Local media are saying these 73 new homes in Kaohsiung are pretty much being let go at a 15% discount. It quickly became a hot topic online. Ka-shing has a reputation for making fast runner. Before CCP leader Xi Jinping started his big push against the rich to redistribute wealth in 2018, Li had already shifted his primary assets from China to the West. Not too long ago, Li slashed prices by 30% on new homes at Hong Kong's Seaside Station. Right after that, Article 23 was rushed through, hinting that foreign investment might speed up its exit, adding insult to injury for Hong Kong's economic struggles. There's chatter in the self-media sphere that after Ka-shing sold off Seaside Station, the real estate market in Hong Kong took a nosedive. And now, with Chung Kong Holdings, one of Hong Kong's leading multinational conglomerates founded by Ka-shing, unloading its crown jewels in Shanghai at bargain prices, we suddenly want to know, did Li predict something again, this time? China's economic downturn leads to loss of 28 million credit cards in 1 year. As China's economy faces downturns, the credit card business of major banks is contracting, leading to the gradual fade-out of once popular co-branded credit cards. On March 20th, Shiji reported that banks such as Bank of Communications, Changsha Bank, and Zhejiang Minsheng Bank announced they would stop issuing certain co-branded credit cards, including themed cards like Bank of Communications' Demon Slayer card. This move reflects a broader trend seen since late 2023, with banks like China Merchants Bank halting the issuance of up to 15 types of co-branded cards. The case of Bank of Communications discontinuing its Walmart credit card, due to the retailer's closures, exemplifies the broader challenges. The Bank of Communications Walmart card, a long-standing partnership of 18 years, once boasted 4 million holders, highlighting the past popularity of such co-branded efforts. Co-branded cards, partnerships between banks and various businesses, offer benefits beyond those of standard credit cards, including greater discounts and exclusive perks. However, their decline signals a troubling contraction in the banking sector's credit card business. The People's Bank of China notes a continuous quarter-over-quarter decline in active credit and debit cards, with a 28 million drop in credit cards over a year. This downturn contrasts sharply with the expansion seen in 2017, just before the US-China trade war. Credit cards are a pivotal part of banks' consumer services, with revenue coming from interest and fees. The declining card usage and popularity, especially among young people who increasingly avoid credit spending, underscore a significant shift. Many young individuals, like Shanghai-based media worker Ding Ding, express a preference for saving over spending through credit. Current data reveals that 35% of young individuals nowadays avoid using credit for purchases, with most keeping their credit spending below 20% of their income. Despite banks' efforts to attract younger demographics through co-branding and various strategies, credit cards are struggling to appeal to the most potentially high-spending youth. Additionally, the financial statements of certain banks shed light on the volume of complaints related to credit cards. In 2022, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, topped the list for the highest number of credit cards, with China Construction Bank, CCB, coming in second. That year, ICBC faced 238,400 complaints from individual clients. The bulk of these complaints focused on credit card services, including issues like repayment negotiations, specialized auto installment plans, disputes over interest and fees, and concerns related to credit reporting. Chinese pork industry grapples with financial turmoil. The Chinese pig farming sector faces significant turmoil this year, particularly as Fujian Anong Biological Technology Group, Anong Biotech, a key player, verges on bankruptcy. The company's dire situation reflects the wider instability and financial distress plaguing the industry, exacerbated by the disrupted pork cycle, a pattern of fluctuating supply and prices. On March 7, the distress signal was clear when the Chongqing District Court took up a restructuring case against Anong Biotech's main investor, amid warnings of potential insolvency. Originally starting in 2011 with pig feed and later expanding into farming, Anong Biotech's fast growth and 2017 stock market debut propelled it to a peak market value of nearly $3.48 billion, earning it the nickname Pig King. Yet, an unexpected dip in pork prices, contrary to the typical industry cycle, triggered a steep decline in the company's fortunes. Over the past 3 years, Anong Biotech has seen losses soar over $765 million, with 2023 alone accounting for about $417 million of that total. The company now faces possible delisting due to its grim financial outlook, escalating debts of around $236 million to financial institutions, and additional pressures from litigation and arbitration. Its asset-liability ratio has spiked to 89.41%, with fourth-quarter losses in 2023 reaching at least $237 million, tipping its debt over its asset value. Efforts by Weo Lin, its controlling shareholder, to avert disaster through equity pledges and share sales have failed, leading to the freezing of Anong Investment and Lin's assets. With 2023's audited net assets in the negative, Anong Biotech edges closer to delisting, symbolizing the broader challenges and uncertain future faced by China's pig farming industry amidst persistently low pork prices and mounting debts. African swine fever and the rise of mega farms. Since 2018, China's pig farming industry has been reeling from the impacts of African swine fever, ASF, culminating in the bankruptcy of numerous small and medium-sized private pig farmers due to stringent epidemic prevention measures. Policies such as financial and tax subsidies primarily benefited large-scale pig farming operations, exacerbating the financial strain on smaller players. As many small-scale pig farmers went out of business, the period from 2019 to 2020 witnessed a surge in large-scale pig farming. ASF and associated measures to contain the disease accelerated the trend toward mega farms. Rural areas once dominated by family farms saw the rise of facilities like the 26-story pig farm operated by Hubei Zhongxin Kaiwei Modern Animal Husbandry on the outskirts of a rural village near the Yangtze River. Widespread losses, rising debt across the industry. Large-scale pig farming, however, has been driven by hefty financing, deepening debt risks across the sector. The building boom of huge pig farms caused the market to swing to oversupply, driving down prices again. In 2023, pork prices did not rebound as expected but remained low throughout the year. Pork prices remained below the cost line for an extended period, causing pig farmers to suffer significant losses over the year. As of January 31, 2023, none of the 22 A-share listed pig enterprises disclosing performance forecasts for 2023 were genuinely profitable. 18 of the listed pig enterprises recorded net losses of between around $3.50 to $4 billion. Even industry giants like Muyuan Foods, Wen's Foodstuff Group, and New Hope Group weren't immune, collectively facing expected losses exceeding 10 billion yuan, $1.4 billion. The deteriorating financial health of pig enterprises is evidenced by their escalating asset-liability ratios, aggravated by the broader downturn in China's stock market over the past 3 years. As of the third quarter of 2023, the combined debt of 20 listed pig enterprises, including industry giants, stood at approximately $63.389 billion, with an overall debt ratio of 66.7%. 15 of these enterprises witnessed an uptrend in their debt ratios, signaling growing financial strain. The unfolding crisis has shattered hopes of a reversal in the traditional pork cycle, as pork prices show no signs of recovery. Typically characterized by cyclical fluctuations, the current pork price has remained low and defied expectations. The surge in pig production post-African swine fever outbreak in 2019 led to overcapacity. According to China's National Bureau of Statistics, China's total pork production in 2023 reached 57.94 million tons, the highest level since 2015. The high pork production, coupled with a wave of restaurant closures due to the economic downturn and shifting consumer behaviors, led to a surplus in pork production, exacerbating the sector's woes. A turning point seems distant. Recent data from China's Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs shows that China's breeding sow inventory declined notably by the end of January 2024, dropping to 40.67 million. While the decline initially fueled hopes of a reversal, recent policy adjustments tempered these expectations. On March 1, the ministry announced a downward adjustment in the national target for the normal inventory of breeding sows, from 41 million to 39 million, signaling that production capacity remains high despite the inventory reduction. Compounding concerns for pig enterprises and investors are developments in pork imports. China is set to import pork from 21 countries in 2024, with an anticipated influx of 21 million pigs. Mike Sun, a North American investment advisor and China expert, told the Epoch Times on March 8 that after the original pork cycle was broken, the appearance of a turning point seems distant. If pig enterprises face substantial losses and their mounting liabilities exceed assets, they may be forced to declare bankruptcy and undergo restructuring. Worsening epidemic in China, sudden deaths among police and doctors. The China epidemic is escalating severely. Videos circulating online as of March 19 depict numerous Chinese hospitals at a breaking point, with patients suffering from symptoms like fever and vomiting, signaling the onset of another virus wave. Shanghai's traditional Chinese medicine expert, Mr. Dong, shares that cases of fevers and colds are skyrocketing, affecting all ages, and snagging a hospital slot has become impossible. The death toll has been rising across China, with sudden fatalities striking many young and middle-aged professionals across various sectors, including cops and medics. For example, Su Haibin, the vice chief of the Azwoki Public Security Bureau in Inner Mongolia, fell ill suddenly while on duty for the CCP's 2 sessions in Beijing and passed away on February 27 at just 49 years old. Another person, Li Haixiang, 41, a senior police officer at the Haiyan City Public Security Bureau in Jiangsu, succumbed to a sudden illness early on February 8. March 2 witnessed the unexpected death of Dr. Pan Bowen, a 32-year-old from Zhejiang University Children's Hospital, while playing basketball. His family suggested to the press that his death might have been triggered by excessive physical activity after the sequelae of the new coronavirus. As previously reported, on March 14, Beijing unusually admitted to the widespread presence of the new coronavirus. The Beijing Health Commission declared the virus in an epidemic state, with the JN.1 variant strain dominating. Currently, Beijing is grappling with a severe outbreak. A Beijing local, Mr. Guang, shared that a lot of folks are dealing with colds, coughs, and sore throats, with many ending up on 4 drips at hospitals. They're now in the new coronavirus epidemic phase. He's too scared to go out, even with double masking and gloves on. Notably, lately, a lot of users on the Chinese Xiaohongshu platform have been posting about battling shingles, a condition they describe as excruciating. Shingles, also known as herpes zoster, is a viral condition often hitting those over 50 or with weakened immune systems, leading to severe nerve pain as a complication. One netizen from Beijing said that it seems tied to immunity. Post-epidemic, everybody's immunity seems down. The docs have been saying it usually takes 2 to 3 months, sometimes even 6, to get over it. The Beijing Health Commission's February report detailed 21 communicable diseases with 88,971 cases and 12 deaths. However, these statistics have drawn skepticism. Li Muyang, a notable self-media figure, advises, take the official figures with a grain of salt. I've always said their numbers are skewed in their favor. They tend to embellish. But even the polished figures are pretty grim. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. If you find the information helpful, please share this video with a friend to watch together. This will be a great source of motivation for our team to produce more and more quality and reliable videos. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths. Thank you for tuning in.